All right. Former Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy is heading out the door, and he's taking with him an $11 million war chest that he's free to pretty much spend on whatever he wants. It may be legal. Then again, it may not be. McCarthy was a prolific fundraiser. That's why he became Speaker. His leadership PAC over the past decade raised $26 million from unsuspecting donors who were told their money would be distributed by McCarthy. He would distribute it, he said, to other Republican candidates so his party would either keep or win back the House of Representatives. That's how you become Speaker. You convince wealthy donors that you're the eyes and ears of the Republican Party. So give me cash and I'll know who to give it to. I'll know how to spread it around so we can find the best and brightest Republicans to run for office. But like I said, over the past decade, Kevin McCarthy raised $26 million, but only dispersed a little under $15 million. That's why there's $11 million in Kevin McCarthy's war chest as he heads for the exit. And he might be able to spend that money any way he chooses. It might be perfectly legal. Then again, it may not be. There's new reporting in the Los Angeles Times over the weekend, which reveals that Kevin McCarthy dipped into that war chest and spent close to $1 million on a lavish lifestyle of first-class travel, first-class hotels, and restaurants. According to the Los Angeles Times, Kevin McCarthy spent as much as $200,000 at one of California's most exclusive resorts, where he may have been accompanied a couple of times by a female life coach who took to Instagram showing pictures of herself lounging around the pool. If you ask the entire Republican caucus, they will tell you that Kevin McCarthy cannot be trusted. That's why he was forced to vacate the chair. Many in his caucus call him an inveterate liar. We know that Kevin McCarthy, during the past 10 years, raised $26 million from unsuspecting donors who thought he was going to spread it around, helping Republican candidates get elected to Congress. But we also know $11 million was left unspent. He's heading for the doors with all of it in his pocket and no accountability. More on Kevin McCarthy's $11 million heist later on in this episode. But first, this is The Mop-Up. I'm David Feldman. Please like this episode so I remain in your feed. Subscribe to my newsletter and my channel. Don't forget to take me wherever you go by downloading this show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. This is a podcast. A Los Angeles Times investigation reveals that for more than a decade, Kevin McCarthy used his super PAC to travel around the country, flying first class, staying at the best hotels, eating at the finest restaurants, and charging his own super PAC in excess of $1 million for this extravagant lifestyle. To give you an idea how outlandish this is, it is double the combined total of the 7 House members who held leadership positions during that 10-year period. In other words, if you took all the Democrats and Republicans in the House who served as Speaker, Majority Leader, Minority Leader, Whip during the past decade, if you added up what they all charged, their individual super PACs for travel, hotel, and meals, Kevin McCarthy is twice the combined total. Take a look This is a graph from, no, it isn't. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. Now we can take a look at, this is prepared by the Los Angeles Times. It's a breakdown. Look at this. It's incredible. In the past decade, Kevin McCarthy spent $1,072,000 on first-class hotels, travel, and meals. And he took it out of his leadership PAC. They all have super PACs. That's why they're in leadership positions. Right behind Kevin McCarthy is Mr. Moneybags, the bag man for Wall Street, Chuck Schumer, currently the majority leader. In the past decade, while Kevin McCarthy spent $1,072,000 on restaurants, hotels, and private jets, Chuck Schumer, $106,000. His predecessor, Harry Reid, spent $87,000. John Boehner, when he was Speaker, during his 10 years as Speaker or Minority Leader, $85,000. Mitch McConnell, $48,000. Nancy Pelosi only spent $17,000. It's incredible. And Kevin McCarthy spent $1,072,000 of his super PAC on travel, first-class travel, private jets, first-class hotels, restaurants, doing the people's business. The LA Times reports over the weekend that in just 2 years, McCarthy charged $250,000 to his super PAC in order to stay at a California luxury resort that costs upwards of $3,000 a night. Between 2012 and June of this year, Kevin McCarthy's super PAC, his leadership PAC, raised $26 million. That's public record. Go to Open Secrets. You can see this. He raised $26 million with $14.7 million going towards campaign contributions to other House candidates. Like I said at the top of the show, it's how you get elected Speaker. If you can raise the money, you can buy the votes by spreading that money around. You donate it to the campaigns of your fellow lawmakers or try to get them elected. You know, you find people who've never run before and you get them elected and you spend money on them, you've got them for life. So he raised $26 million. Get out your calculators. He raised $26 million, but only spent $14.7 million on what that money was supposed to go towards, other candidates. And that leaves him with about $12 million, $11 million sitting in a super PAC. Who gets it? Who gets it? Last year, the Federal Election Commission, by a vote of 4-2, ruled that United States law does not prevent members of Congress from using their super PAC money, the money they have left over, to pay for their family's personal expenses. In other words, this is what the Los Angeles Times talked about. They said it would be pushing it, but theoretically, Kevin McCarthy could take the money, $11 million, $12 million that he has left in his war chest. He could take that money from his super PAC and buy a house with it. This has never been done before. Nobody ever bought a house with their super PAC. But you know what else hasn't been done before? This. Somebody spending $1,072,000 of campaign donations on private jets, first-class restaurants, and hotels. It's pretty incredible. Some say it's legal. Some say it's not. Somebody should open up an ethics investigation into this. Somebody should look into this. Lauren Boebert is now accused of dipping into her campaign war chest to pay for tickets to see her former boyfriend compete in a bicycle race. According to new reporting, Boebert used campaign cash, and I'm not being petty here. I'm trying to make a larger point, okay? And I'm being petty. She used campaign cash totaling $339.94 to watch then boyfriend and he was a Democrat, he is a Democrat, Quinn Gallagher. She used $339.94 from her campaign war chest to watch her boyfriend come in 774th out of 1,788 competitors in a Colorado bike race. Okay? And this is considered scandalous in her district. $339.94. She's also being accused of dipping into her campaign war chest in order to spend $317 last July at her boyfriend's Colorado bar, which is famous for hosting Drag Queen Night. If you remember, Boebert and this guy Gallagher were recently thrown out of a performance of the musical Beetlejuice after the Congresswoman was seen vaping, making noise, and groping her boyfriend's nether regions while he groped her bosoms in front of her children. In front of children, not her children. Bosoms. Funny word, bosoms. Okay, so this is a scandal in her home district. $339.94 to watch her boyfriend in a bike race, and then $317 to buy some drinks at his bar. Okay? Compare that to Kevin McCarthy, $1,072,000 on restaurants, private jets, and hotels. As Bob Dylan says, right? Steal little, they throw you in jail. Steal a lot, and they make you king. That would be Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert.